Wow, this is really different. Wow. Wow. It's kind of cool though. About chats. Look at the quality difference. This is my laptop. This is a nicer laptop. This is the built-in camera. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled with my phone. Look how laggy it is. I assume it's really laggy from me looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at the buttons. Oh, there's my mic. Oh, that's a mute. Okay, there's a mute button. Interesting. This sucks. This sucks in comparison. Yeah, the quality is way, way bad. Yeah. Hold on, look at this boy boy. Look at this poor child boy boy. Hmm. This is. I feel like it's really laggy. Is it really laggy? Oh gosh. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. Now I know not to do lives with my laptop at all. My camera. I know. I know. That sucks. I was kind of hoping that that streaming through my laptop would be half decent, but it's not. This is not. This is not good quality. Hey, so my phone died, and I am trying out the camera on my laptop, and it looks, from my point of view, it looks like crap. I'm sure from your point of view, it looks pretty crappy. And I wonder how the audio is. My cat's all crooked still. Yeah, it's lagging. It just like from what I'm seeing on my screen. Oh, so you can hear me fine, but from what I'm seeing on my screen, like my voice is not lining up with the audio. Which I guess I don't know if there would be a lag, but from my point of view, it's so bad. It looks really. It's very pixelated. I'm so disappointed. This is not a cheap laptop. I think I still have. I guess if the audio is fine, I'll go ahead and finish answering the question. Let's see. Was asked before my phone died. Um, I always wondered. Someone said Jeremy said I always wondered how wolves have such pearly white teeth. And I was talking about how like the carbs. I was getting so technical. Okay, yeah, I'm the kind of person too. Like I like to. I'll put it on my TV. Live streams. I'll put it on my TV and I'll clean, or I'll do stuff with my dogs while I listen. Um, or I'll play video games, and I mostly listen. And then if I want to like comment something, I'll have my phone and I'll go and like comment or ask a question or whatever on my phone. So, um, yeah, this sucks that my camera is so crappy. It would be nice if I could use my laptop as a backup. Um, no, Gita. No, Gita. So, but oh yeah. So we was talking about dog food and about how like the all the carbs in it they cause tooth decay, and then they claim that like dogs chewing kibble cleans their teeth, but that's like saying a cracker cleans your teeth, or pretzels clean your teeth. It's like that doesn't make sense. No, carrots, raw carrots can clean their teeth, can help keep their teeth clean. But really, it's chewing on the bones or eat like frozen meat. Frozen meat can help keep their teeth clean. And then, of course, a nice healthy diet will keep their teeth strong. So, my dog Freya broke one of her canines, and I'm devastated. She had her first litter. She was, of course, she's eating raw, but she was getting prenatals. Um, but her pups were old enough to all go home, and so we put her in a crate, a wire crate, while we were loading up her pups to go to their new home, and she threw a fit. And she grabbed the bars of the crate and snapped one of her canines off on her front. I think it might be this side, that bottom canine. And I cried. It's okay. Where she broke it, the vet said it would be. The vet warned me it was going to be thousands to treat it, but where it's broken right now, it's not going to cause a risk of like infection or a lot of pain. They the vet said that it might be sensitive to like cold, so she's not going to have any raw meat right now. And we've upped her calcium intake, and shoot, there's something else that we increased in her diet for her teeth. Um, but like we were doing everything right, but I'm just like so devastated. I like am hating myself for putting her in a crate and all. I don't know. I was afraid she wasn't gonna be able to handle seeing her puppies leave. It was her first litter, so I don't know. And she did freak out. She did freak out though, and she grabbed the kennel and door and tried to open it and snapped her tooth. So I'm pretty upset about that. But what I was trying to get at is like generally a healthy diet. They'll have stronger teeth, whereas an unhealthy diet or a diet full of junk, their teeth won't be as strong. Hey, BB, did you want to come cuddle with me so everybody can see you? Vivian needs a bath. She's dirty. It's been yucky. It's been like super muddy and gross. If you hear that high pitched squeaking sound, I have two pet mice, and that's one of them running on the wheel. I need to oil the wheel. So it's also a sign that I need to be in bed right now. But yeah, so that was what we were talking about for my phone diet. And I think the other question, the other question was, do you think a lot of these dog foods are causing a lot of issues with dogs nowadays? Okay, yeah, so that was still along the same lines. I'm about to go to bed. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to test my laptop camera and see that it's garbage. So, but yeah. Especially like my phone died. That should be a sign you need to go to bed. Also, I don't have as much to do in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and close this old chat out. But yeah, yeah. Well, why are you still up, Becky? It's the same time where you are, right? It's 12:47. Yeah, when I do a live. Yeah. So the thing with my phone is, it's a new phone. It's an iPhone, and so I bought a long charger, but I have that in my car. Go ahead and ask your question. Um, um, Hold real quick. I'll answer your question in just a second. As far as like charging my phone, the charger it came with is super short, and it the cord is made to go with that base only. And so I like what I was thinking. Oh, I'll just plug my charger up to my laptop, and I can like read y'all's questions on my laptop, and then just record with my phone. And then I remembered, oh well, I have to go to my car and get my charger out of my car to use it, and that's just too much work. So I just let my phone die. I hear it's good for your phone to let it die every now and then. Okay, so your question was, how often do dogs sleep, or at least your dogs? Uh, I actually know the answer to this, and I can't think of the actual number right now. I believe it's 16 hours. Generally, dogs sleep around 16 hours, and that's something that I was learning in the schools that I went to for dog training. Is that a lot of people overstimulate their dogs, and their dogs aren't getting enough sleep. You know how like when you stay up late and you get a second wind and you get like all this burst of energy, or I don't know if you have kids or you remember being a kid and you would stay up late and all of a sudden you're like silly and crazy and like hyper and then you crash, or you didn't, or like you get that burst of energy and then you get like just really grumpy because now you're like super tired. Um, they are saying in the school that most dogs live, like not most, a lot of dogs live in that state of like overtired, and so they're extremely tired, but they think they're going to miss out on something, and so they've got this burst of energy, and then they're just grumpy all of a sudden, and then they, you know, so that's where a lot of the behavior problems come from, and then they just crash and fall asleep, but then something else happens, so they're not getting enough sleep, and that also affects their health, um, and affects their temperament and all that sort of stuff. Um, we practice. I have a lot of dogs, and almost all my dogs live inside or like are inside a lot of the time. Um, so I do allow some rough housing in the house. So Chad has a smaller house than me, and I know he doesn't allow them to rough house. Our house is a little bit bigger, and like if it's raining outside, if I get sick pretty easy. If I'm sick, if I don't know, it's too hot, it's too cold. I don't mind if they, Gita, if you jump out of that kennel, stuff will happen and it won't be good. I don't know. She wants to jump out of the kennel. Um, she's in a retriever kennel inside of our house. It's a 6 by 10. It's a 10 by 5 by 6 foot tall. Um, she normally sleeps in the room with us, but she's in the kennel right now. I lost my train of thought. Um, oh, but yeah, yeah. So I let my dogs rough house a little bit inside. We're not going to act crazy and run around and jump on couches and like dart across the room. Some of the younger ones will try that. And so we got to like let them know, no, that's not okay. But I don't mind like in the open spaces of the house them to kind of like wrestle a little bit. Just you have to stay within like calmer. You can't get out of control. You can't start bumping into furniture. You can't get too loud and boisterous. You know, um, I'm okay with that. Usually, I'm more okay with that whenever they can't be outside. Um, and then you can act like a freaking crazy person when we go outside and run around and run into trees and stuff. Lag at the ran into Bjorn, and Bjorn ran her into a tree and she was limping, and I was like, oh no, but she's okay. She tried to act like she was okay, but I knew she was hurt. I almost carried her because she didn't want me to pick her up. She had to look good. So yeah, my dogs sleep a lot. They're all of them are crate trained, um, just in case. The I start off all puppies start off in crates in my house, and learn how to be crate trained, and then as they get older and they um, mature and earn the right to have more freedom, they get more freedom. Um, Darling is almost 2, and she would stay in her bed all night. So I didn't have to use a crate with her by the time she was like a year old because she was staying in her bed all night and not getting into trouble. Whereas Lagatha, who is the alpha of all of the dogs, she had to stay in a crate until she was almost 2 because she would tear up stuff. She would chew on the corner of the bed. She would jump on the bed and like decide that she needed a bath on our bed and keep us all up. Um, so, uh, but she's almost 4 years old now, and so uh, now she's fine. She just needed more time. But yeah, so they all sleep a lot. They play hard. They sleep hard. They know how to just lay down and relax as well. Yeah, Bella seems to act like one of your livestock guardian dogs. I make jokes that my livestock guardian dogs are barking at shadows. They're scaring off the shadows in the woods and stuff. I call them something else too, and I can't think of. I make jokes about them controlling, them scaring off the ghosts. I mean, they might be barking at actually something, and I just don't hear or see anything. And sometimes they are actually barking at something, and I'm just like, do we need backup? Oh, did you do embark on her? Did you do a video on it and I missed it? I feel like I've missed the last couple of your videos. I've missed a ton of Chad's videos. Um, most of the videos I've watched recently are about how to fix my car. um, and I've been watching more like coop videos. Oh, it was one of your earlier videos. I went to your channel and I started watching from the beginning. A lot of the videos, and I hadn't finished. I think I got pretty far. Gita's complaining. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you started off pretty good with editing. My videos I tried to edit are garbage. I am just I it's really hard for me to sit and stare at a screen if I'm not playing a video game. If I'm not watching a movie or playing a video game, but I'm actually trying to. A lot of my coursework for dog training school and then my nutritionist school was the classes were online, or I had to take online tests, and those were so hard for me. Because I just staring at a screen, I get distracted too easily. But yeah, your editing is like when I first saw your channel, I thought it was like Goldshaw Farm level. Like I thought y'all had like a massive following because just how well it was edited. I was just blown away. How professional everything was and how y'all have everything together. You know what I mean? Like, so it just makes me think like as y'all get bigger, it's gonna get so much better. Darling, you have a knot between your toes. Man, long hair dog problems. Let me see. I'm just going to cut it out. Just move your head. Let me cut this knot out. No, no. You don't have to lick me. I'll put your head down. Darling, head down. I need your foot, though. Not all my dogs are trained as well as Darling. Darling was one of my test dogs for some of my training techniques, so that's why she knows some pretty cool stuff. Just have a knot right in the fur in between her toe. But y'all can't really see what I'm doing. She had a knot right in between her toes. That's got to be uncomfortable. I gotta make sure she don't have any more of that. It's got to be uncomfortable. I can't imagine. Yeah, you got another one. Cut this out. I looked at going to dog grooming school and learn like professionally how to groom my own dogs. I started dog grooming school years ago, and then I quit. I didn't finish. So I've been thinking about it. Chad said we do good videos too, and wouldn't be surprised if we outgrew his. Okay, I see what you corrected. Outgrew his channel. Yeah. And that's what I think. I've been looking at like different ways like to grow channels, like what gets people invested. And it's something Chad kept telling me, like, I need to record myself. Like, the dogs are great, but people they'll want to connect with you, and they'll come back to your channel for you. I mean, they'll come back for the dogs, but they'll come back also for you. And so that was tough to just, gosh, girl, what is this in your fur? You need a bath. I don't know if you see her. She is side-eyeing me. She is giving me the side eye. Let me see. You see this? She is, look at her. She's giving me that side eye. You can hardly tell because my camera sucks. Are you judging me? Do you have opinions about me you would like to share? Yeah, I think, yeah. And so that's what I was getting at I watched a bunch of videos about growing channels and stuff like that. And one of the things that gets people interested in to channels is storytelling. Where they'll watch the entire video or nearly the entire video telling stories. And it made me think of like Old Shaw Farms, because he's always got a story to tell. And it could be about anything. It could be like the most simple thing, or it could be like super heavy, serious story. So I've been debating on like, I wish I could like live stream while I did my hikes. Oh, that's why. Do I pronounce your name Nessie? That's exactly why I'm here. I like to connect with the like-minded people and learn from them. Yeah, true. Okay, cool. All right, and make sure I say it right. Yeah. And so I thought I wish like I could like live stream on my hikes with the dogs, so I could show them running around having fun, but then and then just tell stories. I've got some good stories. Like I used to work at a pet shop, and that was my first job. And I had no idea that there was a snake that had been lost in the pet shop like a year ago. And so one day, my boyfriend at the time just started freaking out. And he freaked out and he ran and left me and my coworker, right? And then he comes back to like the doorway and he was like, "You have to get out of there. You have to get out of there." And I was like, "What the heck?" And then I see this snake, this long snake in the corner of the wall. And so I grabbed my coworker, who we're still friends to this day, and start trying to drag him out. And he's like, what? And I'm like, "There's a snake right there." And my coworker looks over and he goes, "There you are." And I've been working there for 6 months or something. No idea that there had been a snake that had gotten loose like a year ago, and they never found it. So Actually, he didn't even get the snake. And what's funnier is like we had, um, like our guinea pig babies would go missing, and we thought the mothers were eating them, and we had like birds that would go missing out of their cages, and it's just like, what's happening to them? Like we didn't know, and now we knew. So actually, the owner of the pet shop came and just pulled him out and sold him like a week later. He sold so fast because he was massive. Pumpkin is the worst in obedience. Bella is like my perfect child, very proud of how well behaved. Bella, yeah, Bella seems like your matriarch. Um, Pumpkin, I've only seen a little bit of Pumpkin. She reminds me of my Cocker Spaniel I had. My Cocker Spaniel was horrible. Um, I had to stay on her to behave. Our Cocker Spaniel, we named her Betty Crocker because she would get into the trash. She would try, like, she was only 15 pounds, very small, but she would do whatever she could to try to get up on counters to get food. Like, she was so bad. She was like, food was her crack. It was so bad. So we named her Betty Crocker. She lives with my children's grandmother now, and she's back. She's worse. They let her sit on the dining room table and eat off her own plate of people food with them. I'm just like, well, at least she's being loved. At least she's not chained up outside, like. but yeah, so yeah, I know she's a cavalier because I've thought about breeding. I'm selling out and I'm going to be breeding doodles, and I've thought about doing a cavalier um, doodle because yeah, she's the oldest. And so she helped you train Bella, and then Bella has turned out better than her. But yeah, I thought about breeding them with poodles, like toy poodles, because I've read and heard that they are really good companion dogs. Um, and so then with the poodle, I would hope that like they'd be really trainable, and then maybe they could be service dogs, but like a calmer. Yeah, cavapoos. Oh, really? So you almost got a cavapoo. What made you decide for a full cavalier before over a cavapoo? I don't know if you saw that video I posted earlier. We have a cockapoo that we co-own. Um, that my dog Rolo was very interested in, and she wasn't interested at all in him. And my livestock guardian dog told him off and told him to leave her alone. Um, Tired. Oh, price. Yeah, yeah. That's something that kind of sucks. Is like if your dog, if you buy a dog and it's like $600, you're probably going to be paying for it in training, making up the difference in training or in vet bills, which sucks. Um, but yeah, and like Darling here, I actually paid, which I have breeding rights. I paid $3,500 for her. Um, both her parents, um, she comes from both her parents are AKC health tested, embark tested, all the tests, everything is perfectly clear, nothing, um, no bad health stuffs. Um, and she's a Merle also, so that put the price up a little bit. Um, Solid temperament tested. They were raised with on a badass breeder program. It's kind of like puppy culture, but like the next level. And that's where I got the other three doodles from. Or one's a poodle and the other two are doodles. It's from that breeder. She sent me those. Why I went and picked them up. No, Gita. Gita, you're going in a crate. If you're going to be jumping out, you're going in a crate. How much did you pay for a pumpkin? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. For my Alaskan Huskies, they're like I paid. Oh, really? You pay that much? I would still expect a little bit more. That's more of an average rate for a decent bred dog. That's what I would guess, or what I would say. I guess Vivian is worth uh between $4,000 and $5,000. And now that Augusto is getting more popular, the dog daddy is getting more popular, it might actually increase the value of his line because of that. Like, not, because of genetics or anything like that, just because of who, he is the breeder. Wow. Yeah, but sometimes sometimes you get what you pay for and sometimes you get scammed. So I'm always like, I want to see the paperwork. I want to see the parents. I don't just want to see them. I want to see a video of them interacting with each other, or even if it was instead them interacting with other dogs or people. I want to see the whelping system. Um, I want to see. I want to know what they ate. What kind of what are you doing as far as whelping? If I'm going to be paying, like my Alaskan Huskies that I get, they don't do all that sort of stuff. They're on the lower end, uh, but they're healthy. They get embark tested. They get physical checkups and some temperament stuff, but it's rare to find. Yeah, I don't think that there is that I know of an Alaskan Husky breeder who does like early neurological stimulation or any. Like most of them are bred in kennels outside, which they say like makes them more hardy for sled work, because they grew up in the weather. I don't know. I would breed them inside, and I would be handling them every day. Mm. She's 12 weeks old. Did was she were all the puppies 12 weeks old, or was she just the last one? I have thought about keeping my puppies until they were 11 weeks old before placing them, just so they have more time with mom, more time with each other, and I can work a little bit more on like crate training, potty training, and some basic stuff. That way, they have a better shot when they go home. It's less stress on the new owners, and yeah, they have a better chance at a longer, healthier life with their new owners. Okay, so she may have just placed them later on, like when they're a little bit older, which is I think is a better trait. Um, if you hear that crying, we're boarding a puppy right now. Who the owner? He's going to be around 50 pounds when he's full grown, but the owner carries him around like he's pumpkin size, like he's going to always be that size. She was telling me that he's always in her lap, or she's always carrying him around. I was like, I think you got the wrong dog breed. So I was talking to her about he's going to develop separation anxiety. So he's staying with us, and he is in a spare room right now with another dog that's really good with puppies. So I don't know if you heard him pitching his little fit. I'm sure if I was in bed or if it was really quiet out here, he would just be sleeping. He's just hearing me talk. What made you choose the Cavalier? I don't think I'll get another Cocker Spaniel. I've had English Cocker Spaniels and I've had uh, American Cocker Spaniels, and they just have too many temperament problems. They're also pretty bad. At least the American Cocker Spaniels are pretty bad about submissive peeing, which is not fun, and that's hereditary. Oh, wait, she is sought after because of her coloring? Because she. Right, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I've read that Cavaliers make amazing. They're much calmer. They love being with their people. Um, I've read like I've read like they're really good for emotional support. I just don't know that they're as trainable and that they would make as good of a dog for a service dog. And that's why I picked Darling, because I was really interested in breeding my own service dogs. And I would place, let's say like Darling had 3 puppies, I would place 2, and then I would keep one and train um, as a service dog and donate it, or sell it for cheap. Maybe like the cost. Um, or I don't know. It would just depend. If I could afford to donate, yeah, then I would totally do that. But I would be able to. Sean's the Sean is the warden with money, finances. Everything has to make sense and add up and stuff. Oh, is it sought after? Okay, okay, yeah. So I get that as far as her scope coloring. So y'all didn't know that you were gonna be living on a farm. Yeah, that's another thing I was surprised with when I was watching your channel. It appears that y'all have been farming for like 10 years, and so that's something else that caught me off guard. Hey, where's those clippers at? Darling, you could use your nails clipped. You could totally multitask right now and cut your fingernails, your toenails. Oh, but pulling leashes isn't too difficult to correct. Wow. So, do you have on your channel? Did I just miss that video? Are you talking about becoming she chases cars? That's dangerous. I can send you some training videos. Like there's already made YouTube videos. I know one right now. Um, I don't know the title of it, but I'm thinking of it right now, or it's a really good one to help stop chasing cars. Yeah, that's not good, especially her being so little. My daughter Patience, her dog Skylar was hit by a car when she moved to the house her dad bought her. She was hit and she was still alive, and the cops showed up and the cops shot her because they said she was an aggressive pit bull and she was a husky boxer mix, and she was a task trained service dog. So my daughter has is bipolar. So that sucked. Skylar didn't chase cars. I don't know what. Skylar, I think Skylar's just used to being in the country and not having to worry about as much traffic. Does she only does it with you? Like if she was by herself or with someone else, would she be reactive to the car? Is she your dog? Like she's your ride or die? You know what I mean? Okay. How old is Rolo? Rolo is almost 3. His birthday's coming up. Yeah, he's almost 3. You're her chosen one. I don't know if you have ever seen the movie Kung Pao, the where the guy like does a satire, I guess, of old Asian action movies. But there's if you have or if you haven't, there's a scene in there where they like the main character is the chosen one. So that's when you said that, it made me think of that. Oh, okay, so like if you go to the store, she's not okay with that, and you leave her. Yeah, that's how this puppy is being raised. Is if they keep treating this puppy the way they are, he's going to end up with some of the same issues. I feel like his will be worse. I feel like from what I've seen from your videos, Pumpkin isn't as bad as she could be. Oh, really? She can't handle car rides? What does she do when she gets stressed out? Speaking of Rolo is one of 6. Um, I have 4 of his siblings, and then my dad 4. Wait, math. How many puppies were there? I have Okay, so I have Rolo, his brother Bjorn, his sister Gita, his other sister Siggy, and his sister Torvi. Okay, yes, and then there's one more. My dad, who lives next door to us, has their brother Floki, and so I kept all 5 siblings. One actually went to live with somebody for a while, and then she came back. That's Siggy. So yeah, I have 5 almost 3-year-old litter mates. Fun fact. And I have both their parents, and I have some of their half siblings. So she whines and cries in the car. And does she like pant or drool or just seem restless? Um, what do you do when she gets louder when we drive through towns? Oh, that's interesting. So like country roads, is it like the city? You think like seeing the city? I don't know if it's something you want to work on to have her more comfortable in the car, but yeah, there's things you can do um, to help her enjoy car rides more. When you get in, the cars are gonna get her. Wait, is her prey that she needs to get, or she is the prey? Because I know earlier you're saying she chases cars. So if it's possible she's afraid of cars, and so yeah, okay, so that they are the prey. It's possible that she's actually afraid of cars, and so she's acting tough and chasing, and especially if the car's driving off, well, she just chased that car off. Um, And so some dogs, when they're afraid, they'll act big and bad, um, like that, and then it gets reinforced because the car drives away. I know you describe both Rolo and Kratos as alphas of your massive, and beautiful pack. How does that work? Are they both just as dominant, or do sometimes? Yes, sometimes they do conflict, especially when we first got Kratos. First Kratos, he was new here, and he was just like, you know, there's all these dogs. I don't know these people, and so he was like more shy and quieter. And then as he got more comfortable, um, the two boys would kind of have like showdowns where they're like, I'm taller, you know? They would just do this little like body posturing where and they walk by each other really slow and they like size each other up, which that could lead and that could turn into a fight easily, but we didn't tolerate that, because we're the alphas. Um, but so we never leave them alone together, where they can get into it. And then, of course, for the most part, they're fine together. If there's a girl in heat, sometimes there's issues. Um, but as far as being alpha, everybody, the entire pack looks up to both of them, and if they're both here, then they both, the pack are submissive to them. So, but we also, to prevent like issues and to teach that Rolo and Kratos that they are both equal to each other. We do a lot of training and a lot of work with them. Where they will like, we'll feed them next to each other. They both have to sit and wait until we give them the okay command, and then we'll have them eat next to each other. They can't take from each other, and that just shows that they're both equal. Um, we won't give one more attention than the other when they're both together, because then that can cause conflict and all. It's not so bad now. It wasn't never really really bad, but we needed to work on it more earlier on, and now we don't have to do it as hard because they know it. But yeah, when a female comes in the heat, and it's totally normal, they do kind of get grumbly. They tend to cuss each other out as they walk by each other, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Kratos, I think, had learned a lot from Kurgan, and I think if Kratos had stayed there and Kurgan like retired as Alpha, um, Kratos would have been the next Alpha. And that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the dog daddy sending me one of his male dogs for the breeding program. But if he sends me a male, I'd rather get a puppy, and that way that puppy grows up respecting the boys, and um, I'm not bringing another adult male into the pack that now that who has to learn his place in the pack. Bella chose me as well. If I leave a room, she follows me. Yeah. So I have my Ragnar is like that. And then his daughter Gita is like that. They're like Velcro. Uh, Ragnar um, will break down a door. If I'm taking a bath, Ragnar will try to break down the door to get into the bathroom just to sit and watch me take a bath. And Gita will do the same thing. If I'm going somewhere, like he has to go, you know. Um, if I if I walk into the kitchen, if I'm sitting on the couch, okay, I won't even use the kitchen because the kitchen. Oh, maybe they think I'm getting food. Let's say like I walk into the hallway to turn the heat up or something. He will follow me. He will be dead asleep, and he will wake up and like charge after to follow me. And Gita is the same as well. Um, and so that's personality. It can be worked on, and that can turn into separation anxiety and that some other issues. But yeah. Oh, Puko. I was getting K bar mixed up. Oh, Puko. I don't really remember Puko's temperament. Okay, I don't. Do you know who the dog daddy is? You might not even know. I feel like Puko looks like it looks almost identical to K bar, but I can't remember. Like Puko was solid black too, right? I don't even remember if he had. Yeah, you may Kurgan, not Kratos. I'll have to go back and look. I'll have to go and check it out. Was he? Was Puko bigger than K bar? It's been a while. Yeah, I want to see once Ryuk is a little over a year. I want to see how big he is in comparison to Kurgan, because right now he's bigger than Kratos, and he's 10 months old, around 10, 11 months old. Okay, so they are brothers. I can't remember. Like I mean, they are little litter mate brothers from the same litter. I feel like he might outgrow Kurgan. I think Ryuk might outgrow Kurgan. Kurgan's pretty tall for only being around 35%. Um, yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was from separate, like if one was older. You know what I mean? I'm getting my my lichens mixed up. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, he's 29 inches. Was it 29? Yeah, because he was almost 30 inches, so he was like really close. Yeah, I should measure if I can get Ryuk to stand for me. I should measure Ryuk, and he stands for to be brushed, which he doesn't really shed, or he hasn't yet. So what I'll probably do is like I'll brush him and I'll have my husband measure him, see how tall he is. We need to get his weight too. Need an updated weight on him. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Kurgan is tall. He's just so freaking tall. Like meeting Kurgan in person, he's kind of intimidating. Ryuk looks really intimidating until he starts acting like a freaking puppy dog, wagging his tail and being all cute and stuff. Yeah, we should do like a raffle and see how tall Ryuk is, or who can guess his in height. Ragnar hasn't what? Yeah, when they hit that growth spurt, Kindred's getting pretty big. But Kindred's so fluffy that she looks pretty. The same thing with Ryu. Ryu looks massive. He looks massive. But then like when you touch him, like you put your hands on his fur and like go like that, like it goes in like 3 inches. So he has that like lean wolf build, but he's just so his fur is so fluffy. He looks so much bigger than he really is. At least wider. Oh, Ragnar hasn't shed. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Kindred hasn't shed. She's getting like a lot of adult, like more coarse fur in, but I hadn't noticed. Like usually when we're brushing her, it's just to keep tangles out. It's not because she's blowing a coat or anything. How old are they? Now they're. I have so many dogs. I actually have everybody's age written down, and every month I have to like update their age so I can be like, how old are you now? So maybe they grow really tall and then they fill out like a teenage boy. I feel like I know what video you're talking about. Are they? Gosh, oh, my baby's getting so big. If if so, yeah, that would make sense. If they're 9 months old, because Vivian is, I think, 2 months older than Kindred, and Kindred's taller than Vivian now. Vivian is the solid black German Shepherd from Augusto, from the Dog Daddy. Um, and the two were the same size, and I was taking them everywhere together while I was working on training both of them. And so everybody thought they were sisters, but yeah, Kindred's outgrown her. 33 inches. I feel like he's like 66 inches. He's so tall. Oh, video. Oh, it's happening. It's all happening. Oh, really? Just 2 weeks? Kratos' birthday just passed. What, it was in September, I think. And Winter's birthday is next month. She'll be 2. And Tammy's birthday, y'all, Tammy's birthday is the same day as Winter's birthday. I'm trying to remember where. I think I have it on my. I think my phone's dead. On my calendar. Oh, what day? I think it's the 23rd, but I'm probably. Is it the 10th? Totally wrong. If Bella's birthday is in February, then yeah, then it would be Winter and Toki and Wicket. Okay, yeah. So I think she's two. If she's 2 weeks older than that, also, maybe it is the 23rd. Yeah, Wicked. Wicked's amazing. She's so good. I'll get to see her when I take Ryuk back to Chad. I'm gonna swing uh by Amy's so Amy can meet Ryuk. Yeah, yeah. Amy's son um loves the dogs. Uh, he actually, whenever they have puppies, he actually sleeps with the puppies. He reminds me of my son. My son wants to be a dog trainer, and he has his own Australian Shepherd, and he might have another one. And he's always training them and spending time with them, and yeah, Wicked caught me off guard because she just looks nothing like Winter to me. She does look like Toki. So, and technically, she's also Kindred's sister. Does she have a particular dog in mind that she's wanting? And Wicked might not be as big as she appears because of all the floof. She's really floofy. Yeah, but Toki looks big too. They're super. I met Toki. He's a little cute, lovable guy. Yeah, the coat gets you. Next time I do a video with Ryu, I'll try to like show. Maybe I could get him wet. You know how like you get like a cat wet, and then it's like all the fluff goes down. Maybe I'll get Ryu wet, and so you can see that he's so much fluff. Oh, that kind of makes me sad for her. We actually still have that boy. We have two boys. We still have the two boys. Yeah, I know what you meant. Um, but really, I don't know if y'all would decide to get a livestock guarding dog. I'd love to co-own like maybe a male with y'all. Um, and then that I can use as a stud. What's wrong, Bjorn? Bjorn might need to use the bathroom. So I normally feed everybody in the morning, but because today was so crazy, they ate late, and that's why I don't like to feed them a big meal in the evening. Is because then they have to go at night. Okay, okay. Bjorn has to use the bathroom. Darling, can you take over the live real quick? Come here. Come over here. All right, Darling is gonna take care of you guys real quick. Darling, sit. Last time she abandoned y'all. Okay, look. You see this crumb? You can have this crumb. Wait, no, no, you can't have it yet. No, no, you have to sit here. Let me put the camera down. So, Darling is gonna be y'all's host. No, she's gonna be y'all's host while I let Bjorn use the bathroom real quick. Sit. That sound is not Bjorn. Darling, sit. Darling, sit. No, sit. The girl, sit. Darling. Darling. Did you mess up? She took the crumb. You're a bad doggy. Y'all hear that? That's that puppy. That's that puppy we're boarding. Throwing that fit. Oh man. Okay. No, that's so we board dogs as a business, and that is a puppy that the owner is pretty much really. That's a puppy that the owners carry around everywhere with them, and is developing separation anxiety. So he's staying with us to help work on his separation anxiety. So he's staying in a spare bedroom down the hall, like the back bedroom. That's him. He heard us do stuff and he started pitching a fit. So, and he's only like 3 months old. So I was telling the owner, like, this is going to turn into a disaster if you don't fix this now. Hey, Bjorn, do you want to come say hi to the stream? Come here. Darling, go. Bjorn, come here. Oh, you know what, though? My camera's not good. Here's Bjorn. Darling, I mean, stop. Sit. Sit here. I'm trying to get his face just right. No. Bjorn. Right. He doesn't know what he thinks I'm trying to show him something. So he's trying to find it on the computer. Okay. Yeah, I can't do it with this camera. It's moving too much. So our Ragnar, before he was fixed, he would make crazy sounds like that when a girl was in heat. That puppy got everybody worked up. Do you hear all that? Stop. Enough. No. All right, let me put Bjorn back up. Right back. All right, Bjorn, then. Nope. Okay, sorry. I should have had Darling come sit with y'all. Well, she was bad last time. She actually didn't eat that crumb. I put the little piece of bread for her. She didn't eat it. She just took it and she put it on the couch, and then she ate it afterwards. Gita. Okay. Gita's bad. No. Nope. Let's go. You're bad. Nope. Kita. It's crazy how like one dog that's has problems can affect trained dogs. We've had 2 dogs in heat since we've had him, and he didn't know any better. Not yet. Those hormones haven't kicked in yet. I don't remember that. He did a pack feeding with pumpkin. So at least with we've had 2 females in heat, and he didn't. Which we didn't really have him linger around them, but yeah. Huh. Interesting. I'll have to go back and check that out. Ulu, Ulu's an experienced mother, and she's a sweetheart. I love Ulu. She's definitely my favorite. Um, who's just a wonderful, wonderful dog. But so it could be that, not even that she was in heat, but that he had that kind of relationship with her. Ulu reminds me of our Lagatha. That's something I am curious if he is going to get winter wolf syndrome because he's such a high content. So yeah, our Ragnar. So Ragnar and Lagatha had puppies when they were puppies. Um, that's why they're about a year apart in age. Like they're so close in age. Um, Ragnar was our Ragnar was 6 months old, and Lagatha had her first heat at around 5 months old. And we almost didn't even catch it that she was in heat. Um, it was pretty much a silent heat. Um, there was just Ragnar went crazy over her and was making those crazy sounds and just freaking out and stuff. And they're both babies, they're still both puppies. And so we put Ragnar in a crate, and Ragnar was like breaking the crate to get out, and we put him in different rooms. And at the time, we were renting a house in the city, and he was destroying the house, which we ended up having to pay for, like torn up carpet and doorway and stuff. So then we put him outside, and he was digging out, and he was climbing the fence. And it was just like he was crazy. And so we had a family emergency, and we had to rush to the hospital. And so we had chained Ragnar outside in the back, inside of a fence, and my younger two children had took Lagatha out front to play with her, and Ragnar broke free and jumped the fence, and the kids were freaking out, and we came around the corner, and it had been done. So that is how we got the Viking pups. And we thought, like, there's no way she's pregnant. She's a baby. So she had her puppies before she was a year old. So that's why they're so close in age. Um, and that's when we started feeding raw. I started doing research. So I was really concerned about. We got Lagatha to be bred. Ragnar initially, I was looking for a livestock guardian dog. And we came across him in Ragnar. Our Ragnar was supposedly mid-content wolf. I did a wisdom test on him, but I don't trust those results, so I plan to do an embark test on him. His wisdom says that he has wolf in him, but I don't trust those results. So I'm going to do an embark and see, because we've done the wisdom panel on Lagatha and the embark, and the wisdom panel said Lagatha had boxer in her, and said she had something else bizarre. And then, but we know her parents. Her parents are AKC. Her dad is a working. He's AKC working show line. It's kind of weird. He's a show line that has also done a lot of competitions as far as working. Her dad is a purebred Australian Shepherd, and he has a lot of awards, but a lot of awards in like herding sheep and ducks and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with those competitions. I can't remember their exact names and stuff, but that sort of stuff. And then her mom is also purebred husky. So with AKC paperwork and all that. So so yeah, those results are kind of crazy. And then one of our Alaskan Huskies, someone did a wisdom panel and it came up with some interesting results that were just like, that's not possible. So I don't think I trust the wisdom panel. So it just, Ragnar's fixed. We're not going to breed him. Can't breed him. He was having some, it would appear to be genetic problems, but we figured out that it's not. But we thought it was genetic. And so we just fixed him. And so yeah. Alaskers? I don't even know if I can pronounce that word. Oscular. Let me Google this. I'm really bad with names. Let's see here. Oh, there's 2 S's in it. Well, they look like, it looks like you took a Cavalier and a mini Aussie. And, oh, there it is right there. Small, medium-sized dog of mixed breed lineage, selected breeding purebred toy or mini. I have not seen a toy Aussie yet. I've heard that they have toys now, but I suspect that there's something else in there to make it a toy. So mini Aussie and a purebred Cavalier. The intentional cross through careful selecting of a sire and a dame is intended to combine the desired traits. Well, of course, the desired traits, but what are the desired traits that they're trying to combine? They're really cute, especially with the moral markings. I like the tail length. It's really pretty. They don't look real. Oh, I'll stop. You're gonna make me like. So I wonder, like, how the personality is. Oh my gosh, the puppies will make you go broke. Looking at puppy pictures? Wow. I have heard of, I don't know what they call it. You mix a Cocker Spaniel and an Australian Shepherd. Yes, Ryuk has the potential to be an alpha, in my opinion. I think, from my experience, alpha isn't always about being dominant and assertive. Like, it is about being dominant and assertive, but it's not about being about forcing your way to the top. Usually, when in those situations where it is that, it's because you have 2 adult males that didn't grow up together. They're not a family, and so then they, fight it out until one is the alpha. When you have families that grow up together, it's the parents that are the alphas. It's the older siblings that are the next in line, and then the younger siblings. So I think Ryuk, personality-wise, has the potential to become alpha. I think the fact that he has so many great role models to be a balanced and well-behaved and like fair alpha, I think, he has a lot of potential to become alpha. And yeah, I don't think he is extremely submissive and gentle, but he's still a puppy. So yeah, I think he's gonna. I just kicked my dog in the face. Hey, what you doing? Are you okay? I just kicked you in the snoot. Yeah, do definitely do. Oh, an umbilical hernia. Darling had an umbilical hernia. That's not genetic. It can be. It can be. Um, um, hernias can be genetic, but typically, umbilical hernia, it's just um, when they're born and the mom goes to cut the umbilical cord. Maybe she pulled too hard, and it tore something inside the belly button, and so it just didn't heal right, and so they have a little hernia. Darling had one, and her we had hers fixed at 5 or 6 months old, something like before her first heat cycle. She had her hernia fixed. I think I have a video, or maybe I have a video of when I picked her up, and you can see I show the stitches or whatever from her. I know, poor thing. When I picked her up, they hadn't let her out to use the bathroom, and she ended up peeing herself, and she peed so much. And I was just like, guys, y'all gonna take her out to use the bathroom. She's been holding it so long where she can't hold it no more. So yeah, I wouldn't an umbilical hernia. I wouldn't let stop you. I mean, I would get it fixed, and make sure it's healed before you would breed. But yeah, definitely test. If she's AKC, you can look and see if any of her parents were tested, grandparents and stuff, and see if there's anything concerning. Even if she does have something kind of negative, like she's a carrier of something, um, I can't think of something um, that a cavalier would have. If she was a carrier, but she didn't have two copies of it, you could just pair her with another dog that doesn't have it at all. And so, if anything, maybe one of those pups would be a carrier, but they wouldn't have two copies, so they wouldn't express the negative trait, the negative gene or whatever. Um, an actual mini Aussie. So as far as mini Aussies, there are two kind of mini Aussies. There are mini Aussies that were bred from Australian Shepherds, and they were just bred down in size. They just picked the smallest ones, and they kept breeding them until they got small ones. And there are people who cut corners, and they cross their Australian Shepherds with Pomeranians and a couple other Shetland sheepdogs, and there's another one. So they cross them with other breeds to get the smaller size. And so the two factions hate each other. There's always drama somewhere. Um, and so the people who bred their Australian Shepherds down and they didn't use an outside breed to help get that smaller size, they want to be called miniature Australian Shepherds. Whereas the AKC now recognizes mini Aussies, they don't recognize them as mini Aussies because there's so many of them that used other breeds. They say it's its own breed. Um, and so now they're American Shepherds. So an American Shepherd is pretty much which they use the name interchangeably, miniature Australian Shepherd and American Shepherd. Or I think it's a miniature American Shepherd. I'll have to double check that. It's something like that. But they say the other one is its own breed because it's got those other breeds in there. So they created a new breed, kind of like, the Lycan Shepherd and the Blue Bay Shepherd. Kind of. That's probably a horrible example, but I think you get what I'm getting at. So it's like, so if I was to get a mini Aussie, what side would I choose from? Because so if you get the American mini Aussie, you'll be getting some of those personality traits from those other breeds and some of those other health issues that they may carry, like eye problems or whatever. Whereas if you get an Australian Shepherd that has been bred down in size, um, you only have the Australian Shepherd problems to worry about. You still have there's still the also concern because it's like they're focusing on size. If they're let some stuff slide just because it's like, well, these two dogs are the size that I want, but they both are MDR1 positive, which is um, it's a genetic thing where they can't have certain kind of medications or they have a negative reaction. But they'll say they're both MDR1 positive, so then all their pups are MDR1 positive. But they're like, yeah, but it's the size I want, So that's where another issue arises. Um, so yeah. So Darling's mother is a miniature Australian Shepherd who was bred down in size. Her when you embark test her, it's only Australian Shepherd. There's not Pomeranian or any other sort of breeds in there. So that's something. So one of the doodles that we got is a mini Aussie, and we have the embark. I don't have the embark, but the lady who bred Darling, she has the embark. She's going to send that. She's trying to figure out how to transfer it over to me. And so I don't know if this male we have, if he has he's kind of has shorter legs and a longer torso, which makes me think that there's something else in there, other than a toy. It very well could be from the toy poodle. If his one parent was a toy, if his dad was a toy and his mom was an mini Aussie. But yeah, sorry. So the nerd is coming out of me. There's someone my folks know who got a Cavapoo, and I went to see it, and while she looked like a small shepherd, I decided not to bring Pumpkin to them see they might have gotten scammed. Are you saying like you didn't want them to see Pumpkin so that way they wouldn't be like, oh wow, our dog looks nothing like Pumpkin? Sometimes, so also another thing with breeding, um, especially when it comes to doodles, get itchy. Um, so you just like there's you could carry a trait, um, and then you can express a trait. Um, some of my puppies, some of my Alaskan Husky puppies, have ears that stand up, and some have ears that are flop, and that's actually a gene where it will stand unless it's just too heavy, it's too tall and heavy, like some German shepherds where they have to have their ears taped so they stand. Um, but that's actually like a trait. So then when you get with the coats, it sometimes when you're breeding a poodle and then a flat coated dog, the puppies some have doodle fur, some have flat coats, some have something in the middle. Or well, wait, so their dog looked more like Bella. Yeah, Pumpkin's 14 pounds, which sounds right. And their puppy, not even dog, was 35 to 40 pounds. That's even too big for a mini Aussie. Maybe I would still think that's too big for a mini Aussie. like maybe a male mini Aussie on the bigger side would be 40 pounds. Lagatha is 52 pounds. Trying to think who else, who is 35 to 40 pounds. Two of our gosh, my brain is crashing on me. Two of our Oskies are in that range. They're in the smaller side. Oh, so it's short coated. That doesn't make sense at all. Cavaliers wouldn't. Neither of those dogs would carry the gene to have a short coat, unless they cut. Unless they trimmed her fur down or the puppy's fur down. So yeah. All the red flags. I hope they didn't pay a lot. I know I paid $800 for a Labradoodle, and when I embark tested, it was a beagle. It had poodle and lab in it, but it was also a beagle, Chihuahua. There was something else strange in there. There's just a bunch of stuff in there, so I rehomed it as a pet, and with the embark test. Yes, this is so the dogs are getting restless, and it's because we fed them late. Now Vivi needs to go out. All right, hold on, Vivian. Darling, come host for me. Come here. Up. Come here, up. Come on. Darling's like, I don't want to host. This is your show. Sit. Come host. I'm going to let Vivi out. All right, sit. Darling, go back now. Hey. Darling, play. Go back up there. Go back. Come here. Go back where. Go. Let's go. Nope. Sit back where I told you to. Sit. Sit. Good. Darling, sit pretty. Good. Yeah. Yes, good. Okay, break. Go have a break. Go ahead. Go outside. Nope. We're not going to get silly. Man, Darling's been messing up tonight. See, I got up and I did stuff, and that puppy is freaking out again. Right, yeah, that can happen. It's just genetics. So we have a golden doodle. Is one that Ginger, the one that's got some behavioral problems. Ari is, come here, Ari. Ari's one of our Alaskan Husky crosses. She's got a little bit of Australian Shepherd in her. Ari, come here. She's finding something. Ari is our mouser. Since we no longer have cats, we've been having issues with mice. And she's my daughter's dog, so she's not as well trained. But Ari is around 35 pounds. She's very lean. Yeah, so that's what I was saying is Ginger is Golden Doodle, and she carries one copy of Furnishings, which is the fur around the face and the ears. And so when she has puppies with, if she was to have puppies with the Golden Retriever, because she only has one copy of it, none of the puppies would have it. If she had puppies with another Doodle that had one copy, some puppies would have furnishings and some puppies wouldn't. So for those puppies that have the full furry face, the male will have to have 2 copies of furnishings, and that way all the puppies will have it. And so that also can like affect coat texture, how curly it is and stuff. So Darling's coat isn't as curly. Darling, come here. But the boy, the little mini Aussie Doodle boy that we just got, he's extremely curly. Come here. So I mean, her hair is cut down right now. I know my camera sucks, but you can see my videos. But her hair is more like a wavy curly. You can't really tell, can you? Where the boys has like really tight curls. Yeah, you can kind of see how it's like the 80s hairstyle. So, she's licking me. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's 2:15. Okay, let's see what how do I say your name? Zachariah? Zark. Oh my gosh, wait, let me make sure I say all the letters. Zarkea? Is if your name is from something where I can look it up on YouTube and hear how to say it correctly, I'll look it up. That way I can say your name right. Zarkaya? Is that correct? Uh-huh. Yeah. Ryuk needs to be tested. So, Ryuk is very well bred. He comes from a great breeding program, genetic, like everything. So Zarkaya. So yeah, everything. Everything genetically is perfect with Ryuk. What? Some well-known wolf dog breeders have apparently messaged Chad and they want to. I mean, that doesn't mean that's going to happen. I mean, yeah. I've had people message me asking if they can use Kratos as a stud, and I'm just like, no. Like, oh, talk to Chad. Which is a no. If you do your own thing, do your own legwork. Get your own, buy your own from where Ryuk came from. Now, Ryuk was like a $6,000 wolf dog, and you have to pass all, background check and all this sort of stuff, like pass the test and everything. So. Yeah. I think he might win as far as doing a test breeding. So maybe it's a little controversial because Ryuk is we call him a rescue, but nothing. He just had it rough for like 3 weeks. The wrong person bought him. He lived with the wrong person for like 3 weeks and kind of had it rough for 3 weeks. He got lost in the woods for 3 weeks, basically, and because he was so well bred. Stop, darling. Because he was so well bred, she keeps trying to lick me. And all, like, you see, he completely bounced back. He has, where you see Lux and Garen. Well, I found their breeder and I talked to their breeder, and they were also well bred. Maybe not to the same level, and I don't want to make someone sound worse than somebody else. Or maybe it's the dog in them, or I don't for whatever reason they didn't bounce back the way Ryuk did. But also, they did live in that environment for much longer. And Lex is so much worse and she's very hand shy. And if you walk towards her, she acts like you're going to kick her. So that might, there may be other factors on why they're worse off than Ryuk. But aside from that, like, there's, he's not he was. I don't see where the difference would be if Chad had just bought him from the breeders. I would, yeah, I would be behind that. I would totally. Ryuk's amazing. So you're saying people with high content females wanted to breed Ryuk with them? Yeah, there's that. If he did use Ryuk, the puppies would be a higher content, so there'd be less places they could go. So it would probably, if he did, I don't know, I'd have to talk to him, but if he did, I think it would just probably, like you said, like maybe one litter, and then he would take those puppies to just certain people who are in the breeding program. It would really be really good for adding fresh DNA into everything. How much improvement has Lex made since I last asked you about it? When did you last ask me? Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess you weren't here earlier. So Garen made huge improvements after I went to Florida and met with Augusto, and Augusto worked with him for 4 days. Okay, I'm about to go to bed too. I just want to answer these questions. Hey, we don't do that. That's one of my dogs on boarding. Vivi, you want to come say hi? Come here, Vivian. Vivi, come here. She's just like brown and sleepy. Come here, Vivi. Come here. Vivian. This is the diva. She's like, I am comfortable. If it was Kindred would have already been in my lap. Good night, Becky. I'm going to try to stream every day for the next couple days, so we'll see. You're fine. I don't mind answering. I feel like I don't want to overstep my bounds as far as Ryuk because I don't know. It's just my opinion, and I don't want my opinion to be taken as, facts or be taken as like they're coming from Chad. It's just my opinion. Okay, so we're okay. Yeah, so as far as Lux and Garen and improvement, yeah. So Garen, this is why I'm trying to go get training with Augusto in LA is because Augusto worked with Garen for like 3 or 4 days, and by the end of it, Garen was following him around and laying next to him and that sort of stuff. And it's like I had Garen for a couple months, and Garen would look at me from the other side of the room. And then y'all see how Garen is now. After having worked with Augusto, I can walk Garen on a leash. I took Garen into the tractor supply. Garen still is really hard to hand feed. He tries to take your whole fingers, so that's just something he needs more work on. But I can toss food to him. He comes right up to me. He lays on the couches near us, like he plays with toys and stuff. So, yeah, Lux comes inside now ever since the tornado. But she still defecates on herself when she gets freaked out, and just still panics. I might be getting sick. I was like coughing a lot earlier. Yeah, right? Yeah. it's a really big difference with Garen, and it just also makes you wonder, like, I mean, I saw a lot of the stuff that Augusta did, but there's his timing, his timing, and and of course he didn't work with Garen like he did with the aggressive dogs that you see on his channel. But Garen's not aggressive. Garen had never been on a leash before, but but yeah, he helped teach Garen the leash pressure, and worked with Garen, uh learning to that there's no like if Garen relaxes, there's no tension on the leash, and so just so he can learn how to walk and on a leash and follow, and help Garen through um handling stressful situations. I hear some commotion in my room. Did you want to say anything else? I'm about to log off. Um, um, and hit to bed. Or if anybody else, there's some other people in here. Thanks for hitting the like button, guys. I appreciate it. I definitely won't be using my laptop camera again. It sucks. I have Vivian here, who is Augusto's one of Augusto's dogs, and I was thought about bringing her over here to show y'all. She didn't want to, but I didn't make her. Because it's like you won't even be able to see her because my camera sucks. So, okay, your final question. 3-4 weeks ago, I said that I thought the size difference between Ryuk and Garen was staggering, but you let me know that they only have a 6-pound weight difference. Probably, they're probably both way more. Yeah, so I don't know if you were here earlier. We were talking about how Ryuk is like so much fluff. He looks really big, but he's honestly so much fluff. I think if you look at the video where he's eating, it's like one of my shorts where he's eating the deer, and you see all the silver and the gray coming through. You can actually see his fur is split in half, and you can see the length of his fur, which on the neck it is a bit longer than the rest of his body, but you can see like it's pretty long, and so. Right, yeah, of Wicked. Well, Kindred has long coat too, but Kindred's younger. I think Kindred will grow. Her coat will grow like Toki and Wicked's coat. But yeah, his coat is like long and thick, and that may be because he was up where it was much colder, and maybe in the summer it'll blow out and it'll be much shorter. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about because Garen is older than Ryuk. Why is Garen? See, he's not a lot smaller than him, but he seems a lot smaller than like he should be, in my opinion. And then he is a lower content. He's 10% less, at least, or about at least around something like that. And but then also I was thinking, so he was saying in that place, he was with that person for a longer period of time, and if he wasn't getting enough nourishment during for 2 months, that may have stunted his growth. And so and whereas Ryuk was only there for around 2 to 3 weeks, it didn't stunt, it didn't have as strong as an effect, which Ryuk was very skinny when we got him. So they all had parasites. Right. So yeah, when we got Garen, I believe also with Ryu, they all had pebbles in their stool. They passed solid material like bits of metal, bits of fabric, bits of plastic. There was something else that was, there was rocks, stones, fabric, and plastic. Like just weird, I don't know, stuff that they had eaten. We believe because they were so hungry. Chad also suggested that maybe the pebbles weren't, they were eating the pebbles because they were hungry, but they were eating the pebbles like if they did feed them kibble or some kind of food and they threw it on gravel and the dogs are starving, that they went to eat it so fast that they also swallowed the pebbles. So if it was like on a gravel drive. So that makes sense. And they may have developed pica during that time, from being so hungry that they just wanted stuff in their stomach. In fact, when we got Garen and Lex, I fed them a full meal and they threw up because their stomachs had shrank so much that they couldn't hold that much food. A regular, meal that you would give a puppy, they couldn't keep it down. We did have X-rays done. No, we did not X-rays. We had ultrasounds done to make sure that they had passed everything. Yeah, they had parasites, they had fleas, they had ticks, they had worms. Had something else. Lux had an infected cut on her face. She had to take antibiotics. That was fun trying to get those down her. Right, right. And so that would be where some people might be like, well, you shouldn't breed those dogs because, and I don't, not saying we're going to breed Lux and Garen, but like Ryuk was there. And that's where some people might be triggered. But, but yeah, I don't, maybe if he was a female, I can, nah, I still don't think it's that big of an issue. This is my personal opinion. He's obviously not traumatized from it. He's obviously, and I think what like more bad stuff happened to Lux, and that's why she's got so many more issues. I don't think anything's normal. I spoke to her breeder. They hand raised them from. He was pretty upset. He was extremely upset. He sold those puppies for $5,000 each. So he was like shocked that somebody with that much money would be so neglectful. He didn't want to believe that it was his dogs, but the embark test, showed that it was. But yeah, so they hand raised Garen and Lux from 1 week old, and I saw pictures of them as puppies, looking like, looking great, looking amazing, looking like not afraid of anything, not afraid of people or anything. And so into now where, where they are. So it really makes you wonder, like, what happens, if more happened than just being neglected. And I don't even want to think that it was the person who bought it, because there were other people around. So yeah. The guy who bought them, I don't think his intentions were to be abusive or neglectful. I think he was just young, and he got in over his head, and he had this idea, and he just, yeah, he was, from what I understand, his parents own a safari park. His parents own a safari drive-through park with wild exotic animals loose in the park, and an established actual wolf pack. And he got around eight, that I know of, it's 8 wolf dogs to join the wolf pack, the established wolf pack. And that way, these wolf dogs, the theory, I believe, was that tourists, people going to the park would be able to pet them. Except that the wolf pack did not accept them, and so the pups were left to fend for themselves, and some didn't make it from the wolf packs. And I heard that a zebra had stomped and killed one of them. It trampled one of the puppies. Uh, and that there were complaints on their site about this state of the dogs, and that so that's why he needed to, that like they weren't doing good. I don't know. I don't know. These are things like I've heard and things I've read and bits and pieces that I've put together. So yeah, I don't think that he had bad intentions. I just think he didn't have well thought out intentions. That makes sense. So anyhow, I'm going to get to bed. Um, it is 2:30, and I got to get up and take care of doggies in the morning. But I plan to do a live. I'm gonna try to do a live every day. We'll see how well that works out. But yeah, maybe think of some more questions. It gives me something to talk about, makes it interesting. Well, yeah, I'm gonna head to bed. Get so sweet. Yeah. All right. Look forward to seeing you. Have a good night. Everybody else, have a good night. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to do a live around 6 o'clock tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Y'all have a good night. I'm out of here. And it will be on my phone, so the camera will be a lot better. All right. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.